Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend. Every once in a while, I load the game up and I am just struck by how incredibly good this looks. And, you know, my computer is real bad, very old. So I'm really impressed at how good it's able to look on a machine that makes all the other games on the channel look the way they do. Alright, we got some money, we got some resource income. How are we going to turn this into a diplomatic victory? Because that's our goal here. We're just going to have to generate a hell of a lot more influence than we're currently generating. We're not getting a lot of diplomatic points per turn. You can see we're getting a passive 2. I'm going to try to make friends with purple. I don't know that we necessarily can make friends with pink. Pink might be resistant to that idea. Let's drop in here, and it's going to be 5 more techs after we finish Hospitality Den before we can move up a level. So, we have the important public works research completed. We just got to figure out a way to get a lot more influence out of our cities. Now, one very important way that you get influence out of your cities is by building out districts. Leveled up districts give extra resources, give extra influence in particular. So I guess that's going to be the plan. Population, districts. So I suppose that means we probably want to bend our research in the direction of food now, because I think we've skipped a lot of the important food buildings. We're going to need our population up to build large functional cities. I think I still need the pixie blood. I do not still need the pixie blood. We're fervent even without it. Okay, so let's save it up for a potential time in the future when that ceases to be true. And let's make a whole lot of food. This is the best whole lot of food building. And we also have to figure out where we want to build our national arena, because obviously this is of high value. We're still market banned. All right, let's talk to Pink and see what we can do about that. We have enough money to buy a couple of heroes, so this would seem to be a good time. Now we can just throw off the market ban, but you can see it's very expensive. If we can, oh, he's willing to be reasonable on that, maybe. Can we scam a tech off of him too? That looks a little. Even his cheapest techs are he's pretty negative on. Okay, but I'm sure we can just pay him. Yeah, we'll give him some titanium or some glass steel. It looks like he likes glass steel a little bit better. The bar moved more, even though I have like half as much glass steel. What do you think? 20? 40. That's close. Listen, the glass steel has no value to me, but I'm still not going to give him even one bit more than I absolutely have to. Alright. Hey you. Alliance? Wow. Really? How would you like a huge number of technologies? Okay, so we could get there, but we'd have to give her everything, and also it would be expensive. That's a shame. I was hoping that was going to come through a little bit. Okay. So we have access to the market again. Let's buy heroes. We need heroes for 5 cities still. Okay, well we can't afford that, and I'm sure we'll be banned from the marketplace again before too much longer. Food boost 3. That's not bad, and the faction tree for these guys is high influence and also not bad overall. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It's certainly not the worst faction tree. Science boost 1, influence boost 3. I do not remember what exactly does the faction tree for these guys look like. Plus approval. Plus health regen. Boy, that's a lot of text. But, okay, improves the capacities of the heroes, combat thing. And I accidentally right-clicked. And prevents your food and dust incomes from going negative. So not actually very good for our purpose. Although, the having plus approval low in the tree is pretty cool. Okay, so we've got you with slavery. Slavery is effective in cities that have a lot of native villages, and I think we have a couple of those. We'll buy you as well, and that leaves us with enough money to buy one more. We don't have another one that's like hugely compelling. Dust efficiency 2 from this guy is not too bad. This guy is a little expensive. Food boost 3, dust industry boost 2 is always good. You know, I love strikes far. Do I want to just... This one's a little bit leveled up. How are his points spent? Okay, he's got the food thing capped out. Yeah, he'd be good to have. Alright, we'll see if we can go maybe a turn or two without getting banned from the marketplace. So where are there 3 villages? Haunter has 3 villages. You have 3 villages. Have I incidentally put heroes already into all of the places that have 3 villages? I think I may have. Okay, well, let's run exit out of here. Get the new Longfangs in. And Exid can go to... Warden already has a guy. Haunter already has a guy. Gruditch doesn't have a guy, and the population here is pretty high. We'll take advantage of his cultist stuff fairly effectively. Alright, and then we have a food boosting hero who should probably go into... Yeah, like Parandy, somewhere where there's not that much natural population. He will be most effective here. Okay. Alright, we're building important things. We don't have your national museum yet. Yeah, okay. I'm glad we have such good resource income from the sea, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to afford building all this stuff. Just scout around for pearls that have spawned but have not yet been picked up, I guess. I don't really know what else of value our ships can do at this point. We should get endless mechanisms eventually. It might even be after Plow Factory. Like right after. And then the ships will have something to do, because going around to search the sea ruins again will be valuable. Okay, this also gives them something to do. Wow, that is a lot of turbulence. That's nice. Great swaths of turbulent water can be really helpful. What are the effects of the winter? -1 food on terrain with food. Well, that's inconvenient. I probably should have prayer checked that, because we could have done something, I'm sure. Alright, and already these assholes are in my territory trying to steal my pearls. I don't really want to close my borders to them because doing so is expensive. But maybe we'll have to. Alright, what is the next lowest population place? Okay, Adoran. Adoran could use a little help. So we would like to be able to get 2 more heroes. Hopefully, we can do that before we get market banned again. I don't know why the game's trying to tell me that that guy has no orders. So let's take these dudes off of... Oh, hey. We should try to negotiate for open borders. This is probably going to be somewhat expensive, but... Oh my god, I hate the AI. We really need it. Like, really need it. I'm not too worried about him taking off on technology. If we train a bunch of techs that I don't think are valuable to him, we'll be alright. That's a very expensive deal, 590. The Empire plan I want is going to be 900. If we don't get open borders, we could still get the searches done with stealth, a little bit of creativity. Actually, maybe not. This is so close to the city, I'm not sure. So my cities can see out 1 to 2 tiles in every direction. So the city can see the ruins, but we can maybe approach from the south. They have an extractor. Do extractors give vision? No, they don't, because I have a tile that I have an extractor on that doesn't have any vision. So yeah, if we got a stealth hero, a forgotten hero, and then we ran up here, we could search this. That one might be hard to get to, though. We could also go back to a war footing and just take Xylali, and then you can't tell me not to go in there. How upgraded are his troops? He is definitely running troops that are better than the ones that he had before. The Kagator looks about the same, but these Dervish 6s have 112 damage. Bummer, man. This is, maybe our faction quest is stalled. I mean, we don't need it. We don't have to be victorious with our faction quest. Is there a forgotten hero? There isn't. There's not even a stealthy hero available. Now, there are a couple of items that can give you stealth. Did I happen to find any of those? No, it looks like I did not. The games all sort of run together in my head, to be honest with you. Well, crap, man. That's not very good at all. Okay, so if we build, like, here and here, it'll level up the inner districts while giving us a lot of play from our pillars. And this district is approval neutral because of the anomalies. Let's do that. Each district you put down gives approval. Each district you level up gives influence. Each district you level up gives additional influence. So it's important that we build out now. My empire is tall enough that I don't see the edges of it every turn. I forget to build things in those cities. Alright, is Grudge is making us dust. That probably can continue for a couple of turns. Yeah, let's finish with the heroes first. I do wish that the AI didn't get so much influence. I think that there probably is a pretty good balance for the AI to get lots of free resources, because that's the way they've chosen to balance the higher difficulty, without making influence also be affected, because the AI having enough influence that it can always, like, trivially close its borders to you and stuff is very annoying. Now the Throne of Emperors is interesting. It gives us a lot of extra influence, but it reduces the cost of diplomatic treaties by 30%. As far as I know, you gain diplomatic points based on the cost you actually pay, not the initial cost of the treaty. So this would mean that we need to do more deals to get the number of diplomatic points that we need, which makes me a little hesitant to build it. All right, we got our thing here. Let's get everybody towards. Well, do I want to do that? The Impassioned Preacher skill is potentially quite a bit of extra influence per turn. Obviously, it would be nice to get to Proselytizer as well. Yeah, let's just go for Proselytizer. Through there to Winter Immunity. Yeah, it's probably right with both of them. We really want both skills. It's just a matter of which one to get first. You know, that's actually... The AI loves pearls. Maybe I could trade them some... Maybe I could trade Pink some pearls for the opening of his borders? Let's not give him all of my influence. Wow, 171 pearls doesn't even make a dent in it. $900 influence. I mean, we're there. We're fine. We just can't spend very much or we'll lose it. Although we do at this point have the option of just diverting people to... Alright, so where am I gonna build the national arena? Which city is going to be the influence focus city? It could be Hontor. Hontor's pretty powerful, it's growing pretty quickly. Yeah. You know what, I think that makes a lot of sense. Trenwin would also not be bad. Although Trenwin has a little bit less natural industry. So maybe the idea is we build the national arena here, and then at some point we swap one of the cultist heroes over to push up. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So Hontor will be the influence capital of our empire. We have lots of other cities that have lots of other things to do. Let's turn off sleep mode here. Okay, did I not level him up? No, I did. I just didn't dismiss the pop-up. Okay. So now let's put down pillars. I was gonna use money to buy stuff, but we should put down pillars. So the question here is, do I want to switch to influence pillars now? The influence pillars are giving +2 influence per tile. If we build them... Our science will slow down a lot. But... is this reflecting our new lowered science value? Are we actually at 1265 per turn? Because we don't really need science pillars if that's the case. I mean, the only other thing is that there are still some very good, like you can see here, still some very good influence buildings that we don't have access to yet. And it might be worth it to keep pushing science to try to get to this stuff faster. In fact, it almost certainly is. So let's keep pursuing science. Let's build these in the places where it makes sense to build these. So let's think here for a second about where I'm building out burrows in the near future. I think I want to put the pillar down right here. We can build here and here. Yeah. And then up in Hontor, we want to put down pillars on these sides of... there we go, so that we can build here and here, here and here, take advantage of them. How much money does it cost to put down another pillar? Pretty much all of our money. Yeah, fine. Alright, so we would need, after it counts Plow Factory, we will need 4 more techs. Let's just pick these out real fast. So let's grab this and... this and food tech. I guess I don't have rare metal foundry yet, but we also don't really need rare metal foundry. We want a lot of food. Plus, just straight plus 25% food on city, even if we don't assign any citizens to food. Makes refrigeration plants pretty great. Yeah, okay, we're kind of steering around a lot of things that I would normally pick up, in the hopes that I will not be engaging in a lot of war in the future here. Alright, let's see what the AI has for us. I'd love to move my faction quest forward. I do want the +1 pillar, or the +1 level on pillars thing that you get from pretty deep in the quest. But man, Pink is being very difficult. Alright, so let's just grab pearls. I don't even know what I'm going to use all these pearls for, but I know that it's good to have them. I don't know, the pink dudes ran into our territory and then did not steal our large pearl deposits. I'm not sure what that's about. Once we have endless mechanisms, what am I hoping for? I guess just more dust and stuff, really. Alright, we're gonna need to build plow factories everywhere. There they are. Here they are to steal my pearls. Alright, we definitely need the plus approval Empire plan. Because we will not be able to maintain fervency without it. Although we're not that far off. Like, we have two plus 10 approval boosters that we could pop right now. Yeah, I should still go for this, though. I think it's still worthwhile. Alright, the ships can probably start focusing on ruins more than the pearls. I think we have enough pearls, maybe. I really don't even have a use for all the pearls I currently have. Especially since, for the first time ever, the AI doesn't really seem to be valuing them very much. So let's just run around and get, you know, a few thousand free dust. Oh, I need to be hiring heroes, right? I have 2 hero slots still open. Okay, small amount of dust, small amount of dust. Always disappointing. Really, I'm very pleased to get dust in the early game, and really bummed out to get dust in the late game. In the late game, you're looking for, I don't know, free technologies, or sometimes you can find a cool tech in a ruin. Alright, we have lots of influence boosters finishing around the Empire. So it's going to be influence boosters, food boosters, and burrows, pretty much, for the rest of the game. We have to build up a very large supply of influence. Once we've got the supply of influence, the game will be pretty easy to finish because the AI will allow us to just make a bunch of really dumb deals with them. I don't know how you would get an influence or a diplomatic victory with a player in the game. Like, in a game with all players, I think it's probably just impossible because people will stop dealing with you. So in a sense, I mean, I kind of don't love that design where it's just like, I don't really love unmetered interaction in games in the first place. Hey, look, we found a fire ship in the water ruin that we searched, I think. I don't really love unmetered interaction in games because of that effect, because at some point several of the players can just decide another player should not be allowed to do a thing, and he will not. There's no way to negotiate out of that. And if you've ever played, like, Settlers of Catan, you probably have a pretty good idea what I'm talking about. Somebody decides you're too close to winning and goes, hey, everybody at the table, let's not trade him any sheep. And then nobody at the table gives you sheep, and then you are sad forever. Alright, let's make sure that we don't have any starvation. Losing population is sort of counterproductive. I'm not buying heroes. What a bad. Still no Forgotten available. This guy has no city boosters. Science Boost 3 is fine. I'm not, like, incredibly excited about that, but it will have to do. Alright, so what cities don't have... Alright, let's place you in Ishimlor. Actually, this is a Science Boost hero, so it makes more sense to be in a high population city than a low one. And... Hero... I mean, dust efficiency is fine. Influence Boost 3 is also fine. It's not a huge amount of influence, but it is something. You're the same hero, but for slightly cheaper. It's certainly better than having the city's governor slot open, right? There really can't be a lot of argument on that one. Alright, so we're working our way down to this bunch of sea ruins down here. Alright, I have to say, I am not terribly impressed with the loot from these ruins so far. A lot of our cities are just going to be building plow factories. I guess I could have just used the add to everybody's queue command. And I do think it's more important to get the plow factory down than it is to get the National Museum down. It's going to take a little bit longer for the effect of the plow factory to be felt. Oh my god. This is my least favorite part of winter. Cities that are close to their sort of natural population growth soft cap end up starving as soon as the food growth is reduced in any way at all. Okay, back to truce. So we could, at this point, start having at their guys who are in our territory, and I might, honestly. Oh, the truce has convinced them that it's a good idea to start pillaging my stuff. Ooh, 154 damage here max. Okay, how much is it to close my borders to them? Let's just do it. Let's get it over with. It was gonna be necessary. I was hoping that we could avoid it, because it's kind of not a great use of my resources. Take control of the Bastion in Tid. Yeah, that's not happening. That's somewhat unlikely, let's say. Oh, I can't. Right. Close borders. How very inconvenient. Alright, well, unfortunately, I think we're going to... Oh, you didn't actually search it. Okay, 20 Palladian is not terribly exciting, but it's fine. We're going to end up in a place here where we're hitting end turn a lot. It's a shame. This is not going to be the most action-packed victory. So let's take a quick look, just verify that we're not doing anything crazy. Ooh, this might be useful. Who's going to take the longest to build their plow factory? You. You need a little push. Let's take a quick look at the victory conditions. 21% to the economic victory. We gotta be concerned. Pink is starting to accumulate progress on that a little bit faster than I would like. So once we have our plow factories built in more places, I'm going to be transferring citizens probably to influence. Well, once we get our plow factories and our national museums up. I think it's worth also spending the time to get Imperial funding, although we can be using dust to rush that along. Okay, is there a particular place that this needs to go? Well, let's purchase this design. You can build a strategic intensifier even on a resource that you can't mine yet, and the intensifier won't work. But it'll get the resource as soon as you research the tech that lets you mine the resource normally. So let's start planning to build out these cities. Actually, we probably want to leave people on industry while we're building the burrows too. Definitely don't let the Titan Bone stop. Really, I don't have enough Dust Orchid. That's crazy. I have all these extractors. Don't I? Huh, I have 2 Dust Orchid extractors. But my Dust Orchid says just plus 1.5 from Fortress. Well, I guess let's watch the number. It's 22 now. It should go up by quite a large amount. Not just because we have 2 extractors, but because we have 2 extractors with these guys. Oh no, these guys only affect strategics. Well, still, we should be bringing this in at about a rate of 3.5 per turn, so we'll see if it actually does go up by that. Maybe for some reason, some of the income just doesn't report in the tooltip if you're getting it from multiple sources or something. Mayhap we have discovered a bug. Okay, having some pretty bad luck with our ruins so far. Everybody's building. Okay. Alright, so I think that that's what our dust is going to be for now, is rushing buildings. We do need to accumulate a little bit before the pillar buying phase. Okay, those winter effects are not equally bad. One of those is a lot worse than the other, so let's maybe throw a couple of prayers now this turn when prayer is cheaper. Alright, we'll throw a bunch of prayers on that. Try to make it a little bit of an annoying thing to reverse. I don't know how many pearls the AI has. My assumption is that the AI does not get free pearls from the difficulty, so they actually might run out, you know? Although they have been running around in my territory stealing mine, so we know that they have those at least. Man, I really like this song. That said, we could probably peel some people off of dust, couldn't we? So why is my dust income so low? Well, part of it is that we had not been fervent. So we don't need to build up that much dust, and I really do want to get these builds finished. Yeah, okay. Go infrastructure. This is always the most interesting part of the game for spectators. Think about how all our little income values are going up. Okay, so the most important things here are, first of all, plus level for pillars. Secondly, modernized administration. We're also going to want dust-enhanced buildings. Allow us to build 1 Arena of Champions. But actually, maybe it's better to go for Arts Council first for the plus 10. Actually, this is also a source of... Man. How about we do all of these? Well, let's get the Arena next. Aura of Empire is a big deal. Then Arena to really push that one city up. Then Imperial News Network. Then this, then that. We can eventually stop taking the Empire plan that gives us approval. The pillar upgrades are big, though. We are probably going to be able to place quite a few pillars in our next pillar phase, and increasing the output of each pillar by 1 per tile is going to lead to a significant amount of extra resources. Okay, probably not conquering any oceanic regions at this point in the game. We gotta be like laser focused, man. We have a thing to do and we are on the clock. 40 pixie blood. Joy of joys. Actually, this is going to take long enough to build the Imperial funding, and we're far enough into the game that I wonder if this is even worthwhile in the cities that are going to build it more slowly. I might be better off just building out. So let's start focusing on putting down burrows now. There is a tech in the final era that will double our diplomatic point gain. So maybe I should really just keep engineering science until we can get to United Empires Council. Yeah, probably. Alright, well, let's throw this back on the end of this. So we can also go to the places where we had allocated a small number of people to food and refocus them on things that matter a little bit more. Let's keep Russian stuff. We can rush that. Still a lot of food, plus 25%, but I'm so torn. So we have here a question of engine building. How important is it to keep increasing our rate of gain, and at what point should we just switch our cities into gain? We have to generate, what, like 10,000-ish influence? It's going to take, you know, a few turns at our current rate. When do we stop building the engine and start using it? This is always a tricky question. Well, we should probably spend a turn building a point of population. That seems fine. But these buildings that cost like 1,200, is it better to build these or to... Well, you know what? Let's keep pushing science, like I said. Try to get to the end of the research tree. And the double influence and double diplomatic point gain is effectively 4 times diplomatic point gain, since we're going to be using all of our influence for diplomatic points at that point in the game. Alright, we can go into their seas. They can attack us in their seas, remember. We are no longer at truce. We are normal Cold War. Man, the population in our empire is about to explode. Alright, how much time is left on my pillars? In fact, my pillars expired last turn and I forgot to start them up again. So none. None time. Well, let's search whatever ruins we're going to search this turn so that we know how much dust we have to play with. Strike Svar is going to evolve toward the top of the tree, as is Andom, because winter is a bummer. Oh, can't quite get there. Okay, 50 blood crystal. This is one of those times where I actually would like some dust. Okay, so do I want to build pillars with only 800 dust? Do I want to give it a turn? Because remember, it's pretty important that we don't desync our gains. Man, I do wish you could queue up more than one burrow at a time. So we'll build a luxury extractor on the Titan Bones. I think that's probably worth doing. Alright. Yeah, I guess let's just throw the pillars down. We don't have to have the most pillars right this second. We can... So wait, where did I start building? Here. So let's put you here. Any place where we can get 6 of a pillars, 7 affected tiles harvested is powerful. Okay. So we put down a couple pillars fewer than last time. We'll be alright. We're at 140. This is sort of our passive influence gain without devoting any citizens. We are at 140 influence. What is this? Okay, they rebanned us. That's fine. They give us plenty of time to finish buying heroes. Actually, how close are we to winter? Could be any minute now. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick this up then. Winter could start next turn. Defeat the Avenging... Why am I getting pixie blood from everything? Alright, obviously we don't have to, we don't have to manual this. See, what a surprise. We beat them without taking any damage. Gee, where is the next ruin for you? Over here, I guess? Please don't end too many turns in lightning. Of course, first one. It's like they seek it out, man. I've been intentionally trying to avoid too much information about the sequel, which I intend to play. Or the sequel to Endless Space. Sorry, I should complete my thoughts. Which I intend to play, but man, I heard that there is a thing that they put up that you can download that will show you the AI's thought patterns. So you can like load your game into it and actually see what the AI was thinking when it took various moves. That is such a good idea. I'm so eager to play with that. Alright, build here. So we're starting to get some city shapes that are... Ooh, okay, we're going to want to probably put some dust into that. We're starting to get some city shapes that are actually leveling up districts, and we're getting better coverage on our pillars as well. Our rate of science is sharp. We're getting a lot of science per turn right now. That is not the button I wanted. Yeah, 1658. It's not too bad, considering that we basically haven't finished real science buildings in any city yet. I suppose I actually should have built the district here first. I built it where I built it because I was trying to level up the Abbey, but building it here would have allowed us to get one more tile covered from the pillar, because it would have added this tile to our exploitations. So let's make that the next one. Their heroes are still running around in my territory. They could cut that out, it would be just fine. Alright, so we don't actually need you down here. It looks like I'm getting pretty close to cleaned up on land. What did we get? Dust. Okay. That's totally fine. Not exciting, but fine. You know, sometimes the best things in life are not exciting. Every once in a while you have to be okay with a thing that's merely very good. Very good but expected. Okay, Valdea just needs to keep building out. Building a borough here will level up this district and will continue to extend our reach. We don't have luxury extractors unlocked, right? Yeah, we can certainly afford to do that. And you can see nobody has tried to push the prayers, so it looks like we might get the winter effect that we were hoping for. Let's go ahead and build this, because I really do want lots of Titan Bones all the time. Never run out of Titan Bones. I gotta keep checking our Empire approval value, because every district I build gives a penalty, but every district that gets leveled up to level 2 gives a greater bonus than the penalty for building another district. So I had to keep checking and making sure I haven't tipped us below fervency, because I am not actually keeping track of the effects of my buildings. I suppose maybe I should. That sounds, said out loud, like a thing I obviously should be doing, but can you imagine the tedium? Okay, Town Criers for free if we level up any district in Grodage to level 2. Grodage is pretty big. Yeah, okay, it has... Like, we could put a district right here and level up the city center to level 2. Or... I mean, that's going to make the city kind of a weird shape. Whatever, it'll be fine. Unfortunately, I believe we cannot plant pillars in water spaces. Alright, there aren't any ruins that are like right on the border with pink. Nothing that we can search from this side. So are we done with pillars in our, or with ruins in our territory? I think we are. Okay, and with that, just move back to a defensive position and rest. Until you are called upon again. And this guy can go around and scoop up the few pearls that have been left behind. Alright, we're at 162 influence. We're getting there. The number's going up. It's going to have to go up a lot. But it can. Once we have a little bit more build out and we can start redevoting our cities to other things. Okay, purple's on 2 victory techs. Yeah, I guess it is turn 112, huh? Alright. Who is having the most trouble with their buildings? You are. Get a stockpile. Alright, so it's probably time to refocus. If we're ever going to, this is the moment. Do I want to move a cultist hero over here? There's a lot of population to take advantage of. Alright, so it's the cultist hero from Grodedge, probably, right? Because Warden has... Oh, no, it's Valdea that has the other... Yeah. So let's grab you from Grodedge. And then we'll pass over the suddenly unassigned guy. Oh, this Zarja Agenol that we bought was pretty leveled up, apparently. I actually think it might be better to just go ahead and climb up the rest of the tree to get to Cold Operator. Oh, no, wait, this isn't... For some reason, I was thinking this was the Ardent Mage that we bought as a governor, but no, this is our starting hero. Okay. Hey, there's a ruin. Okay, let's start putting people into place. So if I moved everybody in the Empire over, let's say, well, we should finish our Imperial funding in places where we're still building. Alright, we have about 2,000 money, so who's close enough that I can rush it? Not you. Yeah, okay. $458. Man. That puts us closer, but it's still not going to do it. Alright, we're not too far off of the next big boosting building. And the sacrificial amplifiers will make it so that the pillars we put down in a few turns will give us a ton of influence. But I'm thinking that we may not be fast enough here. In fact, I'm thinking it's likely we will not be fast enough. I've been a little scattershot this game, a little scatterbrained as well. It happens sometimes. Actually, let's build the chapel because this is 2 extra points of population we can put in here. And it's not that expensive to build. Seems like a reasonable increase. Alright, Valdea doesn't have the population to build more burrows. Could build an anomaly, or could build an abbey. And the abbey would level up this region if I put it here. So let's do that. It also grabs another anomaly. Alright, so basically we can wait until we get the notification that somebody is about to win. That's how much time we have. Wait until we get the notification that somebody is about to win and then go for it. I assume we're going to need... Oh, hey. Dust Orchid's back, and actually spices. We should pop spices too, because every person that is born is one more person who can focus on the mission. So I think we might, with how many resources we have popped, I was going to say I think we might be able to stop spending so much on our Empire plan, but maybe not. I really don't want to spend 900 influence on an Empire plan at this point in the game. Alright, we don't really have that much money, so we can't rush a lot of stuff. We can rush this. That's valuable. Oh, I should be saving dust. Let's save dust for a while, because how many turns do we have left? 4 on these pillars? Yeah. So that'll put us to like 1,300. Yeah, that's a good number of pillars. Yep, keep the everything rolling. The Pixie Blood's coming in so fast that we may as well just keep it popped. Okay, we are now properly getting all of our Dust Orchid. Valdea has run out of... No, we can build one more kind of district. Let's do it. Let's keep putting stuff up. Duarden needs... Warden can keep building. So let's put down a district. What's my plan here? I guess let's put down a district right here. So we'll increase coverage on this. This pillar will now have all of its tiles exploited. So that's going to be an important place to put down the influence pillars that we're about to put down. Because this is the moment where we have to be all in on our plan. You just go back to sleep, I guess. You just go back to sleep, I guess. Alright, so yeah, when these pillars run out, we're going to put down a group of plus... Is it only +2? I thought we leveled these up again. Oh, this was the level that increases their range by 1. That's right. So you can see the little yellow circles expanding out from it is increased its area, not its output per tile. Actually, it's so unlikely that we're going to get anywhere with this guy before the end of the game, we may as well just take +8 food. He's not going to get up to any of the important parts of his skill tree. I guess let's head up into Pink's territory and see if there's some ruins we can scan. And Tal'Darim... Oh, Tal'Darim should definitely have a chapel. In fact, how many turns will that take to build? Let's stay on this until that's done at the very least. Try to figure out, what do I want to do here? If we build right here, that gives us another little place to nestle a pillar into. How many turns are left on our pillars? Come on, there's a pillar on this tile. Show me the tooltip for that. And show me the tooltip just for the tile underneath. How about over here? There we go. 2 more turns. Okay. So I'm wondering if it's maybe worthwhile to pull some of the people in the more populous cities over to Dust for a turn to get us a little bit more influence via being able to put down a couple extra pillars. So each pillar is going to be 2 per tile over... Like, where am I going to put these? Like, if I put it down right here, it's going to affect 4, 5, 4, 3, 2 tiles that we're actually going to be exploiting from. So that's, what was that, like 13, 18-ish? So that's gonna be like 36 per turn. But we don't really have that many places in the Empire where they're that valuable. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Let's do it here. Because here we're not moving them off of influence at all. Let's take a quick look at this via the city panel. Who's still not on? Everybody who's not on. Yeah, even you guys. Everybody who's not on influence is on dust. We'll put you back in a minute. Because actually, you know what? It's starting to look to me like we're not even going to be able to get a lot of benefit out of these Imperial fundings. I bet the purple is 3 tax in now and working on the 4th. Wow, that is a... No, that still says 40%. That is a dark purple against that background. Alright, you don't have any move left. So let's get ready to put down a large number of pillars. We've maneuvered ourselves into a position where we're not that far out, really. 500 per turn is going to become a lot more. Okay, we just finished Modernized Administration, which Valdea can start working on immediately. Yeah, 8 turns even with none of us on Industry. If I move to Industry, it takes 3 turns off, but it also drops my influence by like 80. Yeah, we'll just use Dust to rush it after the pillar buy. Okay, find a ruin in Tid, search it for 240 influence. That's not bad. Which region is Tid? Because I don't even know. Up here. Well, that could not be less convenient. I'm probably not going to bother. Again, the number of turns left in this game is potentially very small. Like we may have less time than I think. Purple could be really close to their 3rd victory tech, and if they are, depending on what order they've decided to tech in and what kinds of buildings they're about to complete, they could suddenly shoot way ahead. Okay, the roving clans are a little bit behind them, and they don't seem to be approaching the economic victory as quickly as they're approaching the science victory. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so maybe we do have time. Maybe everything's gonna be okay. Hey, look at that. Town criers. Free town criers. How close are we to, not? We're not close is the answer. Okay. Wait a minute. Cost 120. Do I have a pillar down right now? Did I desync my pillars a little bit somehow? Did they just get more expensive over the course of the game? Let's take a quick look around and make sure I didn't do something real dumb. I mean, even if I did do something real dumb, we're still going to start putting pillars up right now. I just want to know. No, okay. So let's get influence. So, like, this pillar location is almost entirely harvested. Look at that. That's beautiful. Put a pillar down right here. Wait, did I grab the right one? Yes, I did. Okay. Yeah, that's really nice. It's a shame there's a ruin right here, because there's a similar spot on that side. Where are the other locations? Like, this is a really good spot. We get to put down a lot of pillars this time. This is a really good spot. It helps me a little bit to look at it in this view. I'm so used to looking at it in this view. This is a nice strong one. And we have enough for one more? 945. Yeah, okay, we have enough for one more. So what's going to be the best location now? It's probably someplace around Valdea. Valdea is just, it's so large. Like right here is not bad, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so now we're at 743 per turn. That... Honestly, that feels like we might do this. That feels like we might actually win. So the effect of the Borough Street... Like, we don't want to do something that's going to take 10 turns. There's not probably going to be 10 more turns. I think we will win the game before 10 turns is up. So let's put this here. It levels up this district, and it adds 2 more tiles of exploitation of the very large range of these pillars, right? Oh no, the pillar only goes out to here. That's fine. It still puts down a district and levels up a district. It's hard to be upset about that. Hey, look, the sea monster. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Are you terrorizing the other players for me? Because I really could use the help. Okay, this place needs, like, desperately needs more districts. And Grudge. Because, right, if we... How far off are we? We're going to need about 10,000 influence, I think. What I wanted is diplomacy. We need a little bit more than 10,000. Because we have to generate 2,200-ish, at least. Which is 11,000. Yeah. So in 10 turns, we'll be there. Like, we won't need anything that happens after 10,000 turns. Although, that's assuming that we're going to get maximum value on our influence, which may not be the case. We may have to employ some trickery. Alright, I'm going to make my decisions assuming that we have... How much is this going to be to rush? 7092. Actually, we need to rush it here as well, don't we? I'm feeling like we maybe have it, though. Let's check the scientific chart. Okay, purple hit their 3rd victory tech. Ooh, maybe it's going to be a little close. Purple hit their 3rd victory tech. Because we do need like 11,000 influence. Probably at this point, every city just goes into full influence mode. Every little bit. This means that we are not going to have the dust to rush stuff. But as long as we don't go into... Honestly, even with every city doing full influence, we still do have 412 income. Yeah, maybe we're going to do this. Man, they have a lot of ships. Okay, at 932, we need... We have almost exactly 5,000, so we need about 6,000, which means that we need, what, like 5 more turns? Now that we've ticked again? This isn't doing anything for us, but I might hold to this. Being fervent is, I think, very valuable. It's gonna mean that we keep having births during this period of not focusing on other resources, which is valuable in itself. Yeah, like Trenwyn is just about to have another population spawn. Leave me alone, sea monster. Warden. So I assume it's going to take way too long to... Aura of Empire's not even that bad. But this is definitely the right place. Let's build, here? This gets us 2 more tiles of the city. I guess we could rush that. Since we're unlikely to accumulate enough dust to help us push... Actually, this building is getting so much done per turn. We might be able to take, like, 2 turns off the back of that, and that is going to be a significant amount of extra influence, because this city is the one that has, that actually has a fair number of level 2s. Right, 1, 2, 3... I think we... Yeah, okay, 3. Wow. I've not done that well at... okay. I hate that. How many turns do we have left? Maybe like 1 or 2, probably. What is attacking me? Is it the sea monster? It is. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, you horrible, spiteful monster. Yeah, we could have dropped a spy into Purple's territory and bought us several turns ago, and maybe bought us 1 or 2 extra turns, which might actually be the difference here. So there's nothing I can do to suddenly generate a lot of extra influence, right? I guess if we didn't have to trade for a market ban removal, we could try to buy dyes. I think the last time that we looked, though, dyes were not available, not in a large enough booster. Okay, so we can rush a couple of turns off of Aura of Empire. Yeah, it feels to me like we're going to come up just a little bit short, though. Come on, Purple, please decide to go for some other stuff. Do something other than research, please. I was hoping to find some influence in the ruins, which sometimes happens. Ah, there's nothing you can do, ship. Boy, there really is, like, nothing for this ship to do. Let's come over here. Okay. We want to have stuff to trade. That's how we're going to get the deals done. Just keep building burrows. Alright, so we'll go from 966 to something above 1,000 when this finishes. 966 to 1112. So that's, yeah, that was pretty good. That was like 150 influence. Okay, and plus 15% influence versus plus 1 per citizen. It's got to be the 15%. Alright. I'm not taking the winter immunity, even though it's about to hit winter, because we really need the extra. Actually, here. I'll take... Oh no, this doesn't affect influence. Never mind. We will take winter immunity. Yeah, sure. Come over here and see if there's pearls, I guess. I don't really know what else to do with them. Our sub's been attacked again, this time by Purple. Or this time by Pink, who is not being bothered by the sea monster, you'll notice. Okay, we definitely want Aura of Empire, but we can't reasonably get it. So let's build this instead, level up a district, you know. You know the deal at this point. Paldea is the only place that has even a chance of finishing the Arena of Champions, but it still won't. So let's just build a district. Here? This gets us a couple more tiles. So we're making 1169. If we get 3 more turns, it actually has to be a little bit more than that, though, doesn't it? Oof. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it. It was close, though. It was close, and we can do it. So even if we had, if we'd gotten peace and alliances going with the other players a little bit earlier, let's say we generate, let's say we get alliances as soon as alliance tech's available, and also we generated an extra, you know, 100 points over the course of the game, it still wouldn't actually reduce the amount of influence we have to spend on deals by very much. It turns out that the passive influence gain just is not enough. to get you places. This is a little easier to do with other forces. Obviously, the Draken are pretty good at this. Where do I want to spend this this very small booster? I want to spend it somewhere where it's going to help something actually complete. So, like, the burrows... How much is this burrow? I can't, actually. Okay, we lost our subs. It's bound to happen. I think we did extremely well on the water this game. We generated a huge amount of extra resources for not really that great of an expenditure. The output per pay-in ratio is tremendous. This would be a really nice building to have. Rush that. What do we have the money to rush? Probably some burrows somewhere. Yeah, we could rush this. That took us down to 5 dust. Let's just, like, get stuff done. We're so close. If he doesn't win the... If purple doesn't win the game this turn or... Nah. Okay. Boo. So let's real quick though. If we'd had one more turn, we might have been able to do it. What's up? Sure. Because we are currently at diplomacy. We're currently at 235. We need 2,500, right? Yeah. So we have to generate 2265 times 5 is 11,325. 11,300, yeah. Yeah, we were one turn off. Well, I guess 2 turns off, because 1 turn off would have been him winning the game at the beginning of next turn. We needed to have a next turn. So if we had been generating influence for 2 more turns, we would have gotten it. And actually, that was probably winnable. If I actually had just turned us into full influence mode 2 turns earlier, it would have slowed down the completion of some of our food buildings, which would have had an effect, because I don't know how closely you guys were paying attention to the population numbers, but we did gain quite a bit of population after the plows were finished. Yeah, I don't know. If I had actually kicked us into influence mode 2 turns earlier, or maybe 3 turns earlier, it might have been good enough. Oh well, that's going to be it for this game. Come back next time, tomorrow. We're just going to pick it right up and try again. We were close enough on this one that I feel very confident we'll be able to pull it off. And we'll see you then.